Hey guys, today we have Afan and he's having total 3 years of experience in Java, Spring Boot, and microservices. And guys, those who want to give same free mock interview, please fill out the form below in the description. So now let's get started. Yeah, hello Afan, how are you?
Hi Faizan, I'm fine. How about you?
Yes, I'm also good. Shall we start?
Yes, Faizan.
Okay, so Afan, can you please introduce yourself and your recent project in brief?
Yeah, I am Sheikh Afan as a Java developer. I have an experience of 3 years in designing, developing software solution. I have
Mm-hmm.
specialized in Core Java, Spring Boot, Hibernate, RESTful API services. My recent project was one of the leading company. I have been deployed to the one of the high profile client where I have
Mm-hmm.
been work with the station development management system for the project. So prior to this, I also have an experience with the other company which I
Mm-hmm.
have been Swire shipping project booking and tracking management module where I have been done with the
Okay,
tracking model. This is my simple introduction. So since I have been worked with a client, I have been experienced with the live bug fixings and
got it.
yeah, this is my simple introduction.
Okay, got it. Okay, so Afan, I think you are using Java 8 version in your project or maybe
Yes,
Java 8 plus 11,
yes,
17, right? So I just want to know one thing. In after Java 8, we have default method, private methods, setting methods in interfaces. Right? So
yeah, yes.
I just want to know the reason behind it.
In the Java default method, private method, static method was introduced due to in the interface we have only the public static and we have only the method which do not have an implementation at that time.
Mhm.
So due to that constraints of the implement do not have an implementation with the child class, then default method was being introduced in the Java 8 to make
Okay.
our custom logic.
Okay, so Afan, if a class implements two interfaces that both have a default method with the same signature,
Okay,
so what will happen?
it will get the ambiguity issues with the
Correct.
two different
Will give compilation error. The
compilation error.
class must explicitly override the conflicting method, right?
Yes,
Okay,
it should
Afan, can you
express.
tell me, can an abstract class have a constructor?
An abstract class don't have an do not create any object.
Hmm.
So in my understanding, it doesn't have any constructor in it. We have only abstract methods on it.
Okay. But the answer is yes, abstract classes can have constructors, but we cannot instantiate them directly by
Yes,
a new abstract class is
yes,
basically a
we cannot
compilation
create
error.
the object of that abstract class.
The constructor may be called via super method
Yes,
from the
yes,
concrete
that's
subclass. Okay.
yeah.
Okay, got it. So just tell me one thing. Uh, why does integer is equal to integer work for small numbers but fail for larger ones? You got it?
Yeah, due to it is integer is a wrapper classes.
Okay, I'm
Where
saying let's say there are two integers, integer a is integer b. Okay,
okay,
so if we do a is equal to b, this will work for small numbers, but for large numbers, this will not work because let's say if we have a is equal to 1000, b is equal to 1000, and if we do a is equal to b, then it may return false because integer is considered an object, right?
integer is an object. Yes.
So why it works for small numbers?
Uh, if it was small numbers in terms of primitive data types or the just numbers,
Okay,
decimals.
let me give you an example. If we have integer a is equal to 10 and integer b
Okay.
is equal to 10. So, okay, when we'll do if a is equal to b, this will always return
Yeah, I
true.
understand.
Okay,
It
but
go
if we
into the,
a is equal to 1000 and b is equal to 1000, right, this will not give you a true result.
it will occupy the different memory locations.
Okay,
It will go into the
let me
different
tell you the
memory locations.
answer. Actually, Java caches integer objects for values minus 128 to 127.
In this
Okay, so
okay.
if you compare the values between minus 28 to 127, double equal works perfectly. It will not treat these numbers a different object, a different location. But beyond 127, yes, you may say some incorrect, inconsistent result. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
okay. I would like to share one important thing with you. Actually, we had launched complete interview preparation material, structured step by myself, expert in MNC's interviews. And the best part is that now no one need to go anywhere else to prepare the interviews. Okay. There is a 99% chance that interviewers will ask questions from this material. So basically, it contains a lot of material categorized by experience level, means each experience level has different material with all possible interview question and answers for Java, Spring Framework, Maven, Git, Spring Boot, Spring Security, Spring Data JPA, Kafka, microservices, Java coding questions, Stream API coding questions, and many more. I have provided the link to get this in the below description. And if someone need this material, whole material, plus two real enterprise client projects for the reference, plus one-on-one lifetime doubt sessions, and the referrals to the big MNCs, then they should check the interview preparation kit. I'll provide the link for this as well in the description below. So now moving to our interview. Can you explain what is method overloading and what is method overriding, and which
Yes.
is resolved at compile time and runtime?
Method overloading is a same method name having in the same method name having with the different
Mm-hmm.
parameter sequence of parameter types of parameter would be changed in the method
Mm-hmm.
overloading. It is a compile time polymorphism. Method overriding is a runtime polymorphism where method name would be the same but different parameter return type would be the different and sequence would be the
Mm-hmm.
different. It is a runtime polymorphism.
Got it. Can we achieve polymorphism without inheritance in Java?
Without inheritance, yes, we can achieve the polymorphism without inheritance.
Correct, we can achieve. Afan, can you tell me what's the difference between array list and linked list, and when would you choose one over another?
Yeah, array list linked list was the implementation of the list. In the array
Mm-hmm.
list, we have the index position. When we want to fetch the any data of the position, then we go with the array list. Linked list,
Mm-hmm.
it is internally work with the node representation.
Okay.
W linked list, it was internally work with the W linked list where it has a
Mm-hmm.
node representation. So it would be the slow in the link in terms of linked list.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
Okay, so you need to iterate over a list and removing matching elements. What's the wrong way to implement it and what's the right way to implement it?
sorry, could you please repeat
You
again?
need to iterate over a list and removing matching elements. Let's say you have a list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and you have a matching element, for example, 8, and you have to iterate a list and remove that matching element from the list. So, what's the right way to do it?
Iterated.
Like,
I
would you
didn't get
use
it.
list, array list? Would you use linked list? Oh, sorry. Yes, linked list. Like, which collection would you use, and how would you use?
We go with the array list to iterate over the list dot. So
Okay.
we want to fetch the.
Yep. First, we will go through. I mean, we'll use the array list or linked list, right? But you will see concurrent modification exception because you are removing something while
Yes,
iterating.
very concurrent modification exception we use. We deal
Mhm.
with the iterator dot remove method
Mhm.
to prevent that concurrent modification exception while threads are accessing while threads are accessing in the iterator, it would get the exception.
Correct. Okay. So let's say you want to store some integer values, okay, in a pair, okay, but you don't want to store the duplicates one, right? But you have to maintain the order. So which collection framework would you use?
Duplicate orders should be maintained, but
There should be no duplicate elements. You have to store the value as a key and value. There should be no duplicate keys, but the insertion order should be maintained.
okay, in such we go with the hash set.
Hash set. Are you sure? Uh,
Yeah,
do we maintain the insertion order in a hash set or hash map?
in the yeah, hash map is answer with which maintain the orders.
No. My question is, let's say you have stored the element in the hash map or hash set. I mean, hash set maintains insertion order. For example, if you have inserted first one, then two, then three, then four, then five. So does hashmap provide guarantee that if you have inserted one first, then one should come first? If you have inserted 2 the second time, then 2 should be
No,
there in
priority of order doesn't maintain in the hash set.
doesn't maintain the hash map. So I think we should use a different collection and linked hash
Yes.
map if you know. Linked hash map
Yeah.
maintains insertion order, right?
Yes.
Yep, yep. So in this case, we should use linked hash map. Okay, so can you tell me what are lambda expressions and functional interfaces?
Lambda expression, one of the future of the Java 8, where it was
Mm-hmm.
being written for the concise and the crispy to make the code.
Mm-hmm.
So in the function interface, suppose we have a written in the interface with some method. If you haven't
Mm-hmm.
taken a method to use that method, we use the lambda expression by
Mm-hmm.
lambda expression to call that particular method.
Okay,
So
got
in
it.
the lambda expression, we don't have any return type.
Okay. And there should be one abstract method, right, in the functional
Yeah, it's
interface.
abstract method in the interface.
Okay, let's say there is an interface, normal interface, that has one abstract method, right? Now there is another function interface. Now functional interface is implementing the normal interface. And inside the function interface, you have implemented one abstract method because if you know, like in function interfaces, there must have one abstract method, right? Is that possible?
As we have two interfaces, we have two abstract methods, right?
Hmm. Uh, First is interface A. Interface A
Okay,
has one abstract method. Second is functional interface B implements A. Now inside
okay.
function interface B, you have one abstract method again.
Yes, yes.
Is it possible?
To implement the interface, to implement the abstract method.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, we can implement it by using the super. We need to choose which method we need to implement.
Okay. I think you didn't get my point. There are rules in function interfaces. We cannot have more than one abstract method, right?
One abstract method, single abstract method we can
We
use.
have already one abstract method inside function interface. If we implement
Yes.
another interfaces that has one more abstract method, then in total we will have two abstract method in our child
But
interface.
yes, but there are the two interfaces we are dealing with. It first interface and second interface are two different.
Yeah, two different interfaces. But if we have implemented first one, then in the second one, all the properties, I mean,
Yeah, it will
second will
extend on the
acquire
child
all the
interface.
properties of first one as well, right?
Yes, yes.
So
Then it will
when
break down.
it will break the rules, right? So
Yes.
there will be some compilation or runtime errors, right?
Compilation, हाँ, compilation error भी.
Okay. Moving ahead, can you tell me how Stream API works? Do you know? Have you worked with Stream API?
Yes, I have done work with a Stream API.
Okay, okay. Please go ahead.
Stream API is a collection of objects where we have the methods as filter, sort, and the
Hmm.
map
Okay.
to work on the collection of objects. As an example, if you want have the stations, some of the list
Hmm.
of the stations we have
Hmm.
to get the in the order to get the only with the we need to start with the particular element with the start with the C, start
Hmm.
with the J, which station we are picking up. So in that we apply with the stream filter map in the map filter, and in the filter we use the start with method and we write that element
Correct,
so
correct.
that we can get field.
What's the difference between map and flat map?
Map is a one-to-one mapping. Map is for one-to-one mapping. Flat map is yours a one-to-many mapping. One
Okay,
is not for the nested structure. One is for the nested structure in the flat map. So in
okay.
the map we use in example in we have used the DTO to entity or entity to DTO to
Hmm.
map. We use the map method in it. In our project we use it, and the flat map we use for the nested structure as a separate. We have in a project that every project has the particular employees. So
Hmm.
for every project has particular employees, we get into the in a single string. So then we use that flat map.
Got it. What's the difference between a process and a thread?
Thread is a small unit of a program where process
Hmm.
is a uh, where thread is a small unit of program and process is a it is a part of the thread, multiple what we call.
Okay.
I'm not exactly
A
recalling.
process is basically an independent program with its own memory space, file handles, and
Yes, yes,
operating resource, isolated from other processes. Thread
yes,
is a lightweight
isolated
unit of execution within a process.
within the process.
Mhm.
In the process, context switching will be the difficult, and thread is a very easy to context switching. So process is a very expensive, and thread is very lightweight.
Correct, correct. How can we create a thread in Java?
We can create the thread in a Java by the two ways. One is a runnable interface. One is the extend with the thread.
Mhm.
When we call the runnable interface, we have the implementation of the run method. We used to perform the task on it
Mhm.
to execute that particular task.
Okay, got it. What is a race condition?
If multiple threads are accessing with the same multiple accessing the same resources, then we used
Mhm.
to get the as race we used to get the as a race condition, which makes the data as leak or corrupted.
Okay, got it. So, can you please tell me um, how synchronized keyword works actually?
Suppose there are the two threads. If are accessing with the same resources, one thread is
Mhm.
going to access in the resource one, and
Mhm.
second thread is accessing for the resource two. But resource one is depending on the resource two, and resource two is depending on the resource one. There is a lock. There would be the lock. Nothing
Mhm.
would be released from the resource one to resource two. Then we use the synchronizer at the method level or the block level to prevent this race conditions.
Okay, got it. Can you tell me what is executor service and why should we use it instead of creating threads directly?
I have not been worked with the executor service, but in conceptually, I know the executor service. We use the executor service framework where we use the where we multiple threads put into one place, and we
Mhm.
give the every thread as a task to perform.
Mhm. Okay. Do you know about future,
No, I have no idea.
completable future?
No, no idea
Okay,
about the
no
multi.
idea. Can you tell me what is dependency injection and how does Spring implement it?
Dependency injection is a technique where we use in the Spring Boot, and we have the
Mhm.
three types of dependency injection. One is the
Mhm.
field injection, constructor injection, and the setter injection. So
Mhm.
in the field injection, suppose in the we have in a controller, we are making the dependency as service in that controller to get
Mhm.
that business logic
Okay.
or repository to get some operations of it. Then we
Mhm.
use the other at auto to just private station service in the station controller. So through this way, we use the field injection. In the setter injection or constructor in the constructor injection, where the mandatory to work with it. In the setter injection, we don't want to there is a no mandatory on it.
Mhm.
We use the other at auto wide for the dependency injection to work.
Got it, got it. Um, why is field injection considered a bad practice compared to constructor injection?
In the field injection, we cannot test in the field injection.
Mhm.
So we don't use the much in the field injection. Constructor injection, suppose we have an account class and the transaction. Without the
Mhm.
transaction, we could not perform the any accounts. So it is mandatory to there in the constructor.
Okay,
Uh, so that we use the mainly constructor injection. It
got
is
it.
used for the testing purpose also.
Okay. What's the difference between component service repository annotation? And can we use the service on repository and repository annotation on service files?
A component is a component.
Okay, forget about component. Just tell me the difference between service and repository annotation, and also tell me whether can we use service annotation on repository files and repository annotations on service files.
Yes, we can do both. In the service annotation, we use with the other rate service annotation, which is a
Hmm.
stereotype annotation. Component
Okay.
service and the repository, all are the stereotype annotation.
Hmm.
In the service class, we work with the other rate service, and in the to use for the business logic, we use the service class, and the
Okay.
repository we work with the database operations.
Hmm.
with the annotation of the other repository, which extends the JPA, which perform the database operation in the application.
Mhm. Okay, got it. Can you tell me what is Spring application context and how it is different from Bean Factory?
Uh, if I'm not exactly recalling with the Bean Factory, which is a
Mm-hmm.
old the application, as I'm recalling that we can get the whatever the Bean required, we can get that as an application context. CTX is equal to
Mm-hmm.
new annotation configuration application context. With the
Mm-hmm.
CTX, we get with the get Bean method, we give the Bean method of it with the return type. We fetch
Okay.
what beans we required in
Yep,
the
yep, yep. Actually, Bean Factory is a basic Spring IOC container. Lazy initializes beans on first request, minimal footprint. Whereas application context extends Bean Factory and adds eager singleton initialization and startup, event publishing, and a lot of things like AOP integration, resource loading, etc. Okay. Okay, so Afan, can you please tell me the difference between request param annotation and path variable annotation?
Yeah, in the path variable annotation, we go with the specific I as with the specific thing, we go with the path variable ID. As
Mm-hmm.
example, we with the stations, we are searching with station search,
Mm-hmm.
station ID.
Okay.
With the method name we used to provide it station ID. In the request param, we fetch the data from the query params, which get the dynamics value. Basically, these two differences. We have request param and the path param.
Got it. How does a Spring validates a request body object? What annotation would you use?
Sorry.
Okay, so let's say you have created one API and you have mentioned at the rate request body annotation there just to get the request body, right? Now you want to validate the fields of those
Yeah,
request body. How it?
validations.
Yep, yep.
Other valid we use as a request, whether it is a right request or wrong request. If it was right request, the process will go forward, and if or not, then it will the not process the request further.
Okay. And what are the validations annotations at field level?
At the field level, we use the not null, not blank,
Mhm.
size, or positive, negative. These are the field level annotations we use. We
Okay,
have
got it.
been.
Can you tell me what is controller advice annotation and how do you use it for global exception?
In the global exception, we used to handle the centralize all the exception at one place. We use the
Mm-hmm.
rest controller as advice, other rest controller advice. We
Mm-hmm.
create the custom exceptions first, and we handle in the other rest controller with the proper error responses. We
Okay.
set the path, the date, and the fields to get the
Mm,
response clearly to the client.
got it. Okay. Moving ahead. Um, can you tell me what is the difference between eager and lazy fetching in GPA and what are the defaults in our Spring Data GPA?
In the Spring Boot, by default it is a eager loading when it was coming to the loading.
Okay.
Suppose in the lazy loading, we are getting from the child entities along with the parent entities.
Mm-hmm.
Parent entity, as an example, when user is calling with the order, it getting along with that particular order ID. So we used to manage with the other fetch type dot lazy or fetch type dot
Mm-hmm.
eager.
Okay, got it. Moving ahead, what is lazy initialization exception error?
Lazy initialization exception. I'm not able to recall it now, but
Okay, so basically, when no session occurs, when you try to access a lazy loaded relationship after the JPA session has been closed. Okay.
okay.
Okay. Can you tell me the difference between save method and save and flush method?
Yes, both are the database operations in the while the user is saving particular thing, it
Hmm.
directly don't change in the save method.
Okay.
in the save and flush method, whenever a user is changing something, it instantly changes in the save and flush, but it
Hmm.
degrade the performance in the save and flush.
Okay, got it. Okay, so let's say you catch a generic exception in your code and log it.
Okay.
Okay, so I mean, you just want to catch a generic exception and want to log it. So how would you do it?
Generic exception, as an
Generic
example, I
exception.
did.
Through your REST API, let's say you want to catch a generic exception. For example,
Okay,
runtime
runtime
exception,
exception.
null pointer,
Yeah.
class cast, interrupted exceptions, these. So how would you do
We
it?
used to, we used to directly handle with the try and catch blocks inside the controllers.
Okay. Yep, and also we could use the global exceptions, right?
Global exception handling, we mostly use the global exception handling. Or we specific exceptions we create with the general exceptions, and we used to present them.
Correct, correct. Okay. Um, do you know about singleton design pattern and what are the common issues with it and how would you implement it safely?
Yes, we have used the singleton design pattern in our application. It is only one instance create per the container
Okay.
in the singleton.
Okay.
So as an example, we have in our project, we have used the configuration with the railway config, which use it to load the preload before starting the application zones, divisions, and the stations. And we use that in the services by using the @auto dependency injection, so that
Hmm.
we can use in the services wherever we required.
Yep, yep. Okay. Hmm. How would you write a JUnit test case that a class depends on a singleton?
We have been not written the any test cases here with the JUnit, but
Sure.
we have been with the Postman. We have a front end in the Angular. We directly test with the Angular at that time.
Okay. So basically, singleton makes testing hard because you can't inject a mock. The class reaches out directly, you know?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And do you have any experience with builder pattern?
Yeah, I do have an experience with the builder pattern.
Please go ahead.
Uh, Whenever we are creating with the complex objects, then we use the
Hmm.
builder design pattern. As an example, we have the constructor overloaded. So
Hmm.
constructor overloaded in our project, so that every time we are creating the different objects for it.
Hmm.
So we used the custom builder pattern by using the builder. We used to set builder for it.
Got it. Uh, okay. Moving ahead. Can you tell me how does the open close principle apply to payment system that keeps adding new payment methods?
I have not worked with a solid. I have not prepared for the solid
Okay.
principles.
You don't know the solid principles?
Yeah, I do know. I do know the basics, but I am not particularly in that.
Okay, okay. Yeah, it's fine. Do you know open close principle?
Yeah, I heard it, but I have not been in the
Okay, okay.
executive.
Got it, got it. Are you using Git commands?
Yeah, we are using it.
Or which Git commands do you use most of the time?
Most of the time, we use the git commit, push, pull, stash for the temporary storage.
How do you resolve Git conflicts?
Whenever committing the same file with the two other developers, then we get the git conflict. So we used to edit there and see the code which the is appropriate code, and we used to remove and we commit it.
Okay. Have you used Git cherry pick?
Sorry,
Git cherry pick.
no, I have not used.
Okay. Have you used Git rebase?
No, I have not used.
No. Okay. Which one you are using for building project, Maven or Gradle?
We are using the Maven.
Maven. What's the difference between Maven clean and Maven install?
Maven clean we use the for the cleaning the repositories, cleaning the project, which we are injecting the dependencies in the class path.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
Maven
Install.
installing the reinstalling the packages whatever we are included in the dependencies in.
Okay. So let's say you want to create a REST APIs, a simple CRUD application for, I mean, and you have to include the REST API. So what dependencies would you use in your POM
In
or
the
add?
POM, we use the starter dependencies with the Spring Data JPA,
Mm-hmm.
which bring the dependencies of the Spring Data JPA. We use it, and Lombok annotation we use, and for the
Mm-hmm.
other at no R constructor, other at all R constructor for the Lombok annotations,
Mm-hmm.
and we use the yeah, data JPA Lombok annotations, and my we use the MySQL
So why do we use
tokenization.
Lombok?
We use the Lombok annotation for the no need to write the all times every time with the getter and the setter methods to reduce the
Okay.
boilerplate code.
Okay. So do you know the servers that we have in our Spring Boot application?
Server.
Servers.
Yeah, we have used the Tomcat servers in
Okay.
the
So
Lombok.
what's the purpose of servers for our application? What Tomcat do?
We deploy the application for the deployment purpose. We use the Tomcat.
Okay. Have you used Jetty?
No, we have not used it yet.
Can we use in future?
Yeah, maybe we use the in the future, but we
How
have not
can we
worked.
use? Like, what would you do in order to use Jetty?
I don't have the idea about the rating. We use the Tomcat mostly in our
Okay, okay.
application for the deployment of the
What's the default port number?
8080p.
And
Sorry,
if you
8080.
want to change it to the different one?
We used to present the application dot properties. We used to give the our custom number as
Okay.
89090.
So which one do you like most, application properties or application YAML?
We have used in our project application properties, but application YAML is currently we are using in the industries, which is a indentation
Okay.
purpose.
So let's say if you have two files, application.properties and application.yaml, our application will pick which one?
The configuration, I have not encountered this issue.
Okay, okay.
Not
Got
aware.
it. Have you encountered circular dependency issue?
Yes, I have encountered the circular dependency issues.
Okay, what
One
was that?
dependency is injecting into the another dependency.
And how did you resolve that?
By using the lazy annotation, we
Yep,
use the
yep.
lazy annotation.
Correct, correct. Okay, so Sheikh, it's done for my end. And yes, it was a very, very nice interview.